Shout out to the tape decks, the boom boxes, the Richard Pryors, the Red Foxes, the George and Wheezies, the Sanford and Sons, the Raisin in the Sun, they used to be grapes. Shout out to the pictures of great Kool-Aid on summer days. Life's better when you make it sweet. Shout out to the bishops, the old dogs, infatuated with the juice. Life's trouble squeezer anacondas. Shout out to the snakes, the rats, the pests, the ones that try to ruin happy homes. Shout out to the homeboys and downs since day one, the ones that hold you up when you're down. Shout out to gravity for keeping us grounded. For those getting their hands dirty, working a 9 to 5 for that clean money. Shout out to the counts calculating the digits. Shout out to the club girls giving out them digits in exchange for free drinks. Shout out to the thirsty ones. May your need for attention be quenched. Shout out to the red solo cups, to the lead singers that went solo, to the Bobby Browns. Shout out to the Cisco's, to those that 5 steps away from eternity. Shout out to the bloggers, to the hashtaggers. Shout out to the YouTubers, the twerkers going viral, the world stars, the vines, the 6-second celebrities. Shout out to the Walking Dead, to the kings that died playing the Game of Thrones. Shout out to the chess pieces, to the monopolies, the models and Boardwalk and Park Place. Shout out to SC&G. I'm spitting to the lights out. I grew up just a kid, writing raps, listening to my favorite rappers, and I took a class in college, and we had to put together a portfolio. So I had to put together around 20, 25 poems and turn in for a grade. So when I left college, I left it alone for a little while, went through some relationship issues, started writing about that, and so I was letting people read it, and they said they were liking it, so I decided to go a little more, and I put together my first collection of poetry in 2009. Mr. Enlightenment, that's my original poetry name, stage name. You'll see people with the Thomas Edison's My Homeboy shirt, and when you are enlightened, you get information. They call it a light bulb moment. So I was like, who is credited with the light bulb? Thomas Edison. So I had Thomas Edison's my homeboy. I'm the kilowatt poet. So I made these shirts. It's a very interesting promotional tool and conversation starter overall. Poetry is a form of expression. It's your therapist. It's a form of recreation. I want to write about good times. I want to write about some bad times. So it's another way to express yourself. Light song. I went from lukewarm to sub-zero with the punchlines. I went from lackadaisical at workouts to call me when it's crunch time. I went from bricklayer to sharpshooter. Excellence of execution. Bret the Hitman Hart. Put my heart into my craft. You can say my pen helped me transplant the better days. Yesterday's in my rear view. With each new goal I accelerate. Negativity gives a tightest hug, but I'm trying to break free. My past success is my underground railroad. Watch how quickly I emancipate. The older I get, the more I realize the dreams go up in smoke. So I wrap my aspirations up in a cigarillo, hoping that it burns slow. Up late night, brainstorming my next move. I'll gladly jump any opponent to be crowned king. Nowadays, everybody want to be hot. But someone ain't got nothing on a man with Antarctica in his veins. Cold. Lights out. I want to be known as the guy that stood out. If I go to open mic or poetry reading, I want to be the poet that stood out to you. The one that was not the same and his work wasn't the same as everybody else. And poetry is something I love to do. I like to do it in my free time. And getting people to enjoy it just as much as I did, that's a bonus. So it's just a hobby that I like doing, and I've been getting good feedback about it. So at the end of the day, I just want people to hear what I have to say, and if they can relate to something or get through a situation that was similar to mine, then I feel like I did my job. My second CD, poetry CD, is called Summer Solstice. So Summer Solstice is the day where the light shines the longest, or it's the longest daylight of all the days. So I kind of go along with my light and my light bulb and lights on. Like, well, summer solstice, the day that the sun's out for the longest. Kind of like a metaphor. Like I'm trying to be I'm trying to shine the brightest, shine the longest.